Hey, Crawl Spacers, welcome to part 2 of our 40th anniversary walkthrough on Spider History of Secret Wars. Welcome back, JR. That was fun. The first 4 issues. We're back for more.
Oh, and we've got more fun yet to come. More fun, more fighting, more, well, we'll see.
Fooling around. Yeah, fighting, fooling, and fooling around with George. Welcome, George.
I regret everything about this.
It's making me enjoy Secret Wars more, even though as more JR tears it up, I love it. Issue number 5. The X-Men Strike Back, huh?
Hang on. What last issue, or I'm sorry, not last issue, last month's episode, it feels like it's been so long.
I know.
What that proved is that all this time, JR has professed all this hate for Secret Wars. He never actually read it.
Oh, we found that out.
He followed along with the panels and then just sort of made stuff up in his head.
He bought 4 issues in 84, then read it in 2005 on a Kindle. No wonder he doesn't like it. And there's no goblins anywhere. That's why he doesn't like this thing.
Still not making anything up, guys, just like the line says.
Yeah.
The X-Men Strike Back, issue 5, Secret Wars.
All right. So anyway, all the heroes are looking up Galactus's armpits. All right. And they see that, all this time he's been standing and apparently not doing anything. He's been calling out to his home world, which is like a big ship, which is like bigger than a solar system, according to Spider-Man, and it takes up the entire sky, even though it's millions of miles away. And everybody stands there like, and everybody stands there with their mouths open, and alien flies all come into their mouths because they're just standing there with their jaws open. Well, anyway, all this awesome stuff doesn't bug Johnny in the slightest, because he says, hey, I got this alien chick here, hey, you're hot, we're on an alien planet, let's go screw. All right, so anyway.
Hey, George, what is this word balloon saying for this alien chick here?
Someone help me. My speech is being assaulted by J.R. Fettinger.
Well, I don't know. Somebody's doing some assaulting, and I don't think it's me. Johnny gets the idea. Johnny seems totally oblivious to the fact that, he may not be compatible with an alien species, figuring that if it has 2 arms, 2 legs, and platinum blonde hair, its parts have to be in the same places as an Earth girl.
Anyway. aside from her cat's eyes, she's more or less human.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know where her organs are. We don't know where her, so we don't know, but Johnny thinks he knows. Anyway, so she leads him to her tent and basically shows him her magic bong. All right. And she brings the magic bong out, and her and Johnny start sniffing as if they were in an old Cheech and Chong movie. All right. And the magical pot that's in there creates plot regurgitation 2. All right. So showing the readers as if they had. Wow. He phased out again. I guess it was too much for him. Now. I don't know.
He had to escape you.
No, I just think maybe he has to go find his own magic bong.
For all we know, he's got one.
Yeah. Well, they got to do something in Missouri. Anyway, so they start like I said, sniffing this gas, magic pot or whatever, and therefore Johnny relays the entire plot to this alien chick. So, all right. Anyway. Now, talk about somebody who is in. I can't. I was about to say. Sure, I don't want Brad to miss this next part. So,
well, we've got to power on with.
There we go. There we go. All right. Now, Colossus is in deep thought. Although his thinking is similar to Johnny's, but along a more. Involving a more illegal subject. Basically, Colossus is sitting there thinking, oh, Kitty, I can't wait until you are old enough for me to legally have sex with you. And so he says, slay your enemies to be understood, and he would grant our wishes. Well, I know what my wish would be, that New York State would lower the age of consent to 12.
JR.
That's what he's thinking.
Oh, Lord.
Come on. That's exactly
what he's... It's a kid's comic.
No. He is thinking all my big plans for us for a few years from now when you are old enough. In other words, he's saying, I don't want to go to prison yet. All right. So I'm going to wait a few. That's all he's saying is like, he's basically saying, I can't wait till you're old enough that I can have sex with you. That's exactly what he's saying. The fans out there, help me out. Isn't that exactly what Colossus is saying?
Anyway, the villains.
All right. All right. All right.
I'm a fan of Colossus and Kitty, so you're not, this is you're not going to find a what's an
Well, you can
amenable
like
audience
Colossus and you can like Kitty, but not the idea of Colossus pining for Kitty when she's not even of legal age yet. You
Well,
know?
he's saying that here, JR.
But he's lusting after a young girl. You
Let's
know,
keep going.
I mean, you can get
Move it,
arrested
move
if
it.
you have pictures of that stuff. You know,
Move it.
Ah.
You finished.
Anyway, so
I didn't realize how woke JR was.
So anyway, wait a minute. The X-Men and Magneto all meet in Magneto's lair, and the Nightcrawler and Storm introduce themselves. And you would think that after a Banff and the smell of sulfur, who else would it be but Nightcrawler? But he still feels the need to introduce himself. All right. So, no. Anyway, so Magneto and Xavier are planning their own strike against Galactus. So, anyways, the scene switches to Molecule Man and Volcano walking past the wrecking crew, and Pile Driver goes, which I admit, Pile Driver is obviously not the brightest bulb, but this girl is big, but she's not fat. All right. But now, of course, Pile Driver continues to show how smart he is by
Pile Driver's just jealous here.
he calls them Mr. and Ms. Nerd, and that gets the Molecule Man a little bit. He gets a little bit testy here, and he says, I'm going to make you pay for that. And Pile Driver, and this actually is funny. Pile Driver says, well, we'll see about that. Right, guys? And they all turn their backs on him. Yeah, nice day. A little bit cold. So I actually kind of found that funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. We're going to kick your ass. Right, guys? And so, Molten Man makes good on his promise. He compresses all the molecules around Pile Driver so he can't move. And then Volcano just stomps his face into the mud. So, hopefully he learned his lesson there. All right. So Doom is monitoring, he's sitting in a little monitor and he's monitoring the arrival of Galactus's home. And the Enchantress, not having had any luck with Thor, decides that she wants to try to tempt Dr. Doom to run away with her. Yeah, right. And she goes, I can even heal your face. And Doom says, no. I know enough about sorcery to realize the hidden price of such a feat. Too bad Spider-Man's going to be such an idiot that he won't realize it 20 years from now. All right. Anyway, unlike all those other losers, I don't care if you're hot. I don't care if this is an alien planet. I am not screwing you. So, So the superheroes and the X-Men are worried about Galactus eating the world out from under them because that's kind of what Galactus does. All right. Reed decides, he's going to try to talk to Galactus. Galactus is just standing there, he's like he's deep in his thoughts. And Doom tries to zap his home. Magneto tries to Magneto his way through his mind. And finally, Galactus has had enough, sends a killer robot after him, and which they manage to defeat. But this isn't the end. Spider-Man says, my spider sense is buzzing, more danger nearby. But if there's ever a civil war among superheroes, just pretend that I never mentioned my spider sense to anybody but Aunt May and Mary Jane. All right. Or that I was never hit that hard until Moreland hit me. So, and for those of you who don't remember in Civil War when Tony said something about incorporating his spider sense into his Iron Spider suit, and Spider-Man says, oh, I never told anybody about my spider sense except Peter and Mary Jane and Aunt May. And it's like, You told everybody you've got spider sense. So anyway, all right. Now the villains show up blasting away. This is fight number 3. All right. The heroes are backed up against the wall. The X-Men show up to save the day, however, after beating the cowardly retreat earlier. So they save the day, and this time it's the villains who retreat, but Colossus is seriously wounded. And the alien lady tries to help him, but Johnny stops her. And I will say this is another stupid comment, but at least Iron Man calls him out on it. Johnny goes, well, how do you know if you can help? How does she know if he can help a mutant? After all, he's a whole nother species and he's completely out of the ordinary. And Iron Man says, yeah, you're a guy who can burst into flames and not burn up like Moses' burning bush, and you think Colossus is weird. What, you don't like black people now too? And which is what he says basically. And Johnny says, that's not what I meant. And so I'm thinking, no, Johnny, what did you mean? Does anybody realize how stupid this whole X-Men mutant thing is? Anyway, at first Colossus turns the girl away. No. So, so she goes away to heal Spider-Man. All right. And after healing Spidey, she and Johnny kiss. And Colossus immediately gets jealous of the torch. He's within an inch of death, and all he can think about is Johnny's getting some before I am. Okay, glad to see you've got your priorities in order, Tin Man. Well, Colossus cries out in pain, and the alien girl just says, I don't care if you want my help or not. I'm going to heal you. And Spider-Man is Spider-Man's sitting there and said, hey, let her work. She gave me the best whatever. I was going to now I'm not going to finish.
You wanted to say one thing and then you realized where you were and then you were like, oh no.
Yeah. I was about to say, I was about to say, well, anyway, Colossus, she gives it better than even the Black Cat.
And you're
poor Brad.
Anyway,
he's paralyzed. Anyway, so Dr. Doom is actually, when Dr. Doom zapped Galactus's home, he was actually able to penetrate it, and what he sees amazes him. But we won't find out what it is until next issue. And by the way, Galactus is still standing after issues 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to issue.
We're halfway there.
Now we're going to issue 6. Let's see here. Let's make sure that I'm on the right spot here because, I want the readers to be able to follow along with me. So anyway, the issue starts out with the Wasp, who, as you remember, flew from Magneto's stronghold in a fancy shuttle. And being a woman driver, she crashes it in what looks like a swamp.
Wow.
And being something of a swamp, Brad's mouth was gaping there for a minute. I wonder why.
Because he's frozen most of the time. Everything he does is like a pause take.
So anyway, so she crashes in what looks like a swamp. Well, being a swamp, guess who's probably there? The Lizard. Finally, the Lizard gets to play a part in this story. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, he's not a practical villain to have around because he can't follow orders. But whatever, but he makes a cool toy. All right. So Doom is busy playing with Galactus's machines, and then, and unlike somebody else who plays with machines and just a black turd falls out, this time Claw falls out. Now, Claw is the guy who is made of sound and talks stupid. All right. So after Doom finds out how Claw got there, there's it was involved with the Dazzler. The Dazzler was Galactus's herald. She zapped Claw. Claw got absorbed into Galactus, whatever. So anyway, so now Dr. Doom has pulled him out of Galactus's machines. After he listens to him talk, Doom says, "You're so stupid. You're just begging to be cut up into lenses." All right. So
that's not what he says.
Back to the swamp. The Wasp has, brought the Lizard to heal through her womanly charms. Then we go back to the X-Men, and Professor X is just, he's just deciding to chill and says, you know what, I'm going to use my mental powers to invade people's privacy, read their minds, learn their innermost thoughts, and just have a jolly old time doing it. But Unfortunately, the Enchantress is onto him, and and she can block him, and she says, "Ha! Gotcha, dumbass!" Now, shit, Professor X thinks that didn't work out so well. So Professor X contacts the others and says, Commander Riker, you and Lieutenant Worf and Mr. Data will go where Dr. Doom is sending the task force and see what they are doing. All right. So, well, it's the same guy, right? Same bald guy.
Oh, Patrick Stewart. Okay.
Did you just get it? He's frozen.
My internet is bad tonight.
Lucky.
Anyway, Professor X gives the orders, and now Storm has her panties all in a wad. Her ego is bruised because Professor X gave some orders, and she says she's the leader of the X-Men. It's like, wait a minute. How petty are you? It's like, wait a minute. What were you before Professor X met you and made you an X-Man? You know what? You were an orphan, you had severe claustrophobia, and you were a petty pickpocket. And Professor X plucked you out of nowhere and gave you a nobler purpose in life, and you repay him by getting that stupid mohawk haircut and giving him lip. So I just kind of can't understand Storm here, say, I'm the leader. I don't, so anyway, I thought she'd be a little bit more grateful. Well, Colossus has his own issues. He's pining both for the alien chick and underage Kitty Pryde. All right. And the alien chick comes in and heals him some more. And he tells her that she is the most beautiful woman he has ever seen. And he's trying to imagine her in pigtails and a Girl Scout uniform when the torch flies by and scoops her up for a little fire and ice magic, saying, "You're hot. We are on an alien planet. Let's screw." And look at poor Colossus's face. Look how bummed out he is.
Colossus is living that song. Go away, little girl.
I was about to say, come on, Brad.
Go away, little girl.
Show us Colossus's face. He just really looks bummed out. Yeah, he's just kind of frozen.
See it?
I just had to laugh, So Johnny's in the background there. Johnny's making the moves and gonna sniff more magic pot with this alien chick. And
I don't know if he's making moves. I think he's just ready to park the bus.
And Colossus just is that poor guy. All right. Anyway, so Captain America, is now plotting an assault on Galactus, who's been standing for issues 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6. All right. Well, in this interim, Iron Man decides to, cozy up to Captain Marvel and says, "Hey, babe, you're hot. We're on an alien planet. Let's screw." Well, unfortunately, Captain Marvel is not interested, and says, "How do I know you're really?" I'm not going to go there. Anyway, she's not interested. All right. Well, the X-Men run into Doom's task force, and fight number 4 begins. Fight number 4 in 6 issues. All right. Well, during this fight, Absorbing Man actually asked Titania on a date. So this is where their classic love story begins. All right. So anyway, the X-Men and Dr. Doom's task force are on this volcano. And the Molecule Man decides he's going to do some of his Molecule Man mojo on it. But Wolverine attempts to slice him up into, into several pieces of bread. But Cyclops stops him, giving him the heroes don't kill speech. But to be honest, Wolverine was kind of dumb to try to slice Molecule Man open anyway. I mean, one, they don't know what a being of his power can do, and if you cut him open, it might be just as bad as, Magog splitting open the parasite and irradiating most of the Great Plains in Kingdom Come, So anyway. So.
Wow, that's a stretch.
No, it's not a stretch. So, anyway, Cyclops, says, well, nothing much has happened here, so I'm going to make something happen. So he uses his optic blast to blow up the volcano because, sure, that's what you do when you can. All right. Well, the heroes have been fretting about Galactus's next move like they have been since issue number 2, but he's not been doing anything since then anyway. But there's a shadow of someone lurking around the corner, and we won't find out until next issue. So,
Spider-Man kicks the crap out of Titania.
Oh, and the wrecking crew came and got the lizard to take him back to the lair. All right. Issue number 7.
I feel like if Brad was here, Brad would be showing the cover at this point.
Can you not hear me at all?
Dude, you are
No.
frozen most of the time. Like I actually I put that in chat. Like usually you're just
replied to chat.
a version of that.
That didn't go through.
So
There you go.
yeah, there we go.
Spider Woman
Yeah.
on the cover.
Actually, Hornacek, I like your Galactus standing joke better than mine. What's Galactus's favorite REM song? Stand. Good one, Hornacek. All right, issue number 7. All right, well, we find out who the Shadow is pretty quickly here. It's the Julia Carpenter Spider Woman. It's the Julia Carpenter Spider Woman.
Yes. Yes, you're correct. That's who that is.
And she disappeared.
Oh, we had it
Now-
up for a minute there.
All righty. Well, so she walks out, and the rest of the heroes say, "Hey, you're not the Spider Woman that we know." Yeah, and she says, "Well, she wasn't too good in sales, and Marvel, they'll keep trying to jam a concept down your throat, whether you want it or not. So here I am, a new Spider Woman. Gotta love me." All right. So, well, it turns out that
JR, can
now
you
we
hear
finally
me?
find out, well, where
Can you
did
hear
you
me,
come
JR?
from? Now we find out that the Beyonder, in addition to sucking up alien villages and alien swamps into his world, he also snatched up a suburb of Denver, which is where Spider-Woman was. That's where Volcana was. That's where Titania was, because he got the idea from watching the Outer Limits episode feasibility study. Okay. So anyway, do you got anybody watch the Outer Limits?
Ha. Not in a long time.
All right. That's an episode of the Outer Limits where aliens like plop this subdivision, and put it on an alien world, and because they want to see if humans can adapt to being their slaves and stuff, whatever. Anyway,
Taking your word for it.
all right. Well, they remade it and when they brought Outer Limits back, but anyway.
I was more of a Twilight Zone guy.
Ah,
I mean, I watched Outer Limits, but usually, I watched all that stuff like with my dad. Like my dad would stay up and watch it sometimes. I'd stay up and watch it with him.
Outer Limits was not Outer Limits was not it was memorable in its own way, but Twilight Zone Rod Serling rules. I was about to say, I don't know if television has had anybody as creative or since Rod Serling, to be honest. Anyway, the wrecking crew roll through town, toss Jan out to the heroes, and not even the sexy alien chick can heal her. She's dead. Right. All right. Anyway, the heroes want revenge, but Cap talks most of them out of it, except She-Hulk, who slinks away silently. He says, "No, we can't go out for revenge. We can't follow our hearts. We can't listen to our hearts, even though it's calling for us. Because Galactus could be eating the planet at any time." All right. So the bad guys are transported. Anyway, Molecule Man is being transported back to the Doom base, and Volcana sees that her little Owie, because his name is Owen, but she calls him Owie, is hurt, and she wants Enchantress. She's seeing this on FaceTime, so she runs to Enchantress and says, "Enchantress, can you transport me to Molecule Man's side?" And Enchantress almost literally says, "Do you know how much energy it's going to take to transport your fat ass?"
Oh,
That's very close to what she says.
I mean, JR's making shit up, but that is pretty close to what she says. It's obviously Enchantress is not an ally. She's not being body positive here.
No. Now it would make sense that Enchantress would call her fat because Enchantress is Enchantress is like the sorority girl.
hey, can you see the panel? Can you hear me now?
She's Mean Girls. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, for whatever brief time it is, there's the panel.
All right. So Volcana talks to Molecule Man like he's a baby, and I'm not making this up or exaggerating or anything, but she says, "Owie, my poor cuddly wuddly baby."
Yeah, that's
So-
not making that stuff up. That's true.
So between Cyclops's pining over underage girls, and between Volcana,
Colossus, not
she's talking to a
Cyclops.
5-year-old. A lot of this dialogue is pretty cringe. All right. Well, the villain's transport is attacked by the X-Men. I believe this is the 5th fight in here. And the villains, ultimately, after several pages of fighting, are able to get away. Well, Cyclops' exploding the volcano does finally get Galactus's attention. And he's going to have to do something about it after he kicks Dr. Doom out of his house. So he says, I gotta do something about this volcano that's exploding and tearing up the planet before I can get a chance to eat it. But first of all, I got a home invader. So he zaps Doom and kicks him out. Well,
my mother just texted. She's watching, and she wanted JR to know that she liked the Pig People episode in Outer Limits.
She likes what?
The Pig People episode.
What's that? The Pig People episode?
Yes, I think I know that. I think that's like when they're all in there's a dude in the hospital and all the doctors and nurses have big faces.
Oh, she's talking about the Twilight Zone. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's Twilight
was that
Zone.
Twilight Zone
Twilight Zone?
episode in The Eye of the Beholder. Yes,
Yeah, that's a
starring
good one.
Donna Douglas in pre-Ellie Mae days.
Sorry, Ma, that was Twilight Zone. Okay, sorry. Oh, I would like to interject real quick here, JR. Because you're glossing over a lot of cool shit, like Wolverine chopping off Absorbing Man's stone arm.
Well, I'm just trying to expedite.
It's little moments like this that make the Secret Wars what it was, JR.
Here you go. Can you see it?
That's so Secret Wars.
Yeah, right there. That's cool, man.
It is. And look at the expression on Absorbing Man's face.
That's so cool. All right.
All
Let's
right,
keep
I'll
going.
take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. All right. Anyway, so back at the Doom base, She-Hulk breaks in and actually starts whipping the entire crew
I love it.
until Titania shows up and unfortunately tips the scales. So so She-Hulk gets her clock cleaned after she just about brought the house down, but Titania comes and evens the score. Anyway, at this time, Doom comes staggering in, and boy, has he looked better. In Enchantress, the Enchantress starts to panic now. She goes, Doom, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Doom says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. We are screwed. And he collapses on the bed. So
This panel of She-Hulk I thought was brutal back in the day. Oof.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
yeah, she gets her clock cleaned pretty badly.
Man.
Anyway, just in an interlude here, the alien chick looks like she's sick and she collapses into Colossus's arms. All right. Well, now we're back with the heroes, and Professor X invades Cap's mind in privacy again and says, you know what? We can take over watching Galactus just stand there, okay? Why don't you guys go and save She-Hulk? And I know all this because I'm invading everybody's mind without permission, and I know what's going on. So Cap says, we'll take that offer. And so they rush out. They're going to go after the bad guys, and they're going to kick their asses. And that is the end of issue number 7.
Now, a point that I want to bring up here is at one point they realize where She-Hulk has gone off. And Hulk goes to Captain America is like, dude, she's my cousin. Just let me go get her.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain's like, no, Galactus, may launch something at any time. We have to be ready. And he's not wrong. But at the same time, I feel confident that Hulk could have just walked over there and gotten She-Hulk out. Knowing,
even with Banner's brain, yeah.
Knowing who all was in the who all was left in the base and what shape they were in. I like Hulk's chances there.
Now, JR,
Mm-hmm.
here is the issue that changed Spider-Man's life
Yes, it is.
forever. Here it is.
This is it.
And amid the chaos, there comes a costume. There you go.
Yep. And
Classic cover.
and it's only come this issue has only come after Spider-Man has already given up the black costume and gone back to his regular red and blue.
It's a smart move from Shooter to, I know this is going 12 issues, but the mystery for 8 months of how did he get that black suit, we're finally answered in this issue. I, as a 9-year-old, was wondering how in the world, what happened? So, yeah.
Well, okay, as a 9-year-old, yeah, I guess that would be one of your preeminent thoughts about where Spider-Man got his costume. Me being a college junior, going to be a college senior, I had other pressing issues on my mind. But anyway, we won't get into that. So
You're trying to get alien chicks to, yeah, never
Yeah.
mind.
All right, boys and girls, this is the issue. All right,
It is.
issue. All right, the heroes arrive at Doom Base. Fight 6 breaks out. But meanwhile, the Enchantress is getting totally wasted, wishing that she and Thor had really, did some action a few issues ago. Anyway, so at this time, Claw releases the lizard because he's stupid. All right. All right. Now, meanwhile, actually, they're here. Oh, Spidey's, bringing the business. He impresses the Absorbing Man because he takes out Pile Driver with one punch. And
That's a good scene right there.
That was
Yeah.
a Spider Jeopardy question.
so Absorbing Man says, "Hey, I better, boy, this guy's real. I better absorb this alien steel here before I try to take him on." And so he, tries to smash all the pillars around Spider-Man and crush him. But Spidey is so fast he moves away. The Absorbing Man says, "Man, he's fast. I was only able to tear his costume." Oh, hint. Something's gonna, that torn costume is gonna figure in here lately. Well, unfortunately, the Thing jumps in to fight the Absorbing Man and turns back to Ben Grimm. But fortunately, Spider-Woman is there to save him because, of course, she can, because she's a girl boss. All right. And then
he actually yells out, "Abroad!" And I remember just seeing that a second ago, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, he does. Look at that.
"I'll take
Abroad.
I'll take things you can't say in comics anymore for 1,000, Alex."
Yeah.
So, well, Enchantress, figures she's going to try to use her feminine wiles first on the Hulk and then on Captain America. But Captain America is too pure of heart, and he beats the Enchantress with his mighty shield. So,
He's like, talk to the shield, girl. I don't have time for lovemaking on alien planets. I got to lead.
anyway, I think I'll let George handle this next scene or whatever, because Titania's got a chip on her shoulder and she's looking to beat up somebody, but let's just say she doesn't get the chance.
No, she doesn't, because Titania decides that she's going to try to sucker punch some people, but she doesn't see Spider-Man coming. Spider-Man is like the Spanish Inquisition. No one sees him coming. And so Spider-Man shows up. She tries to tussle with him, and he's way too fast for her. She starts affecting the area, tears up the ground trying to get to him with her punch. Throws a giant, kind of almost like a stone beam or something. Then she tries to hit him with like a giant construction girder. I don't know what that is, but again, way too fast for her, and he kicks her ass so bad in this issue that she actually develops a fear of Spider-Man that persists when they all go back to Earth.
Yep.
I mean, he literally throws her through the wall and sends her flying down to Earth.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. On some level, it's like, oh, wow, she's like super tough. I don't have to hold back at all. I can just start. I can keep the pin pan strong, and then it's just he's not holding back. He's just really giving it to her, and yeah, he does eventually just throw her out of the building and down several stories onto the hard ground, and then she tries to get up, but no, she's done. She's done.
Let's talk about some patty cake, JR.
Yeah, well, the heroes
cake.
win this battle, and Captain America goes to confront Dr. Doom, and Doom is still, he's still messed up. And Cap says, "Well, he's harmless." So they, lock everybody up. Ben Grimm and Hawkeye were threatened by Claw and a lizard, and it looked like they were done for. But Ben Grimm uses his vast intellect and challenges Claw to a game of patty cake, and the day is saved. All right, so
patty cake, baker's man. There you go.
So back to Colossus and the alien chick that he has become completely obsessed with. So he takes her back to her place and opens up her magic bongs and lets the magic pot flow out. And this allows him to link his mind with hers. And he finds out that, the wasp really is alive. She was just in stasis, that made her look like she was dead. And then when she came out of stasis, the alien chick healed her, but it sucked so much of her life out of her, she almost died. So the wasp is alive. Yay. All right. And the X-Men are still watching Galactus. He's pulled out his big wrench and he's working on the chassis of his home when something happens off panel. Something so horrible that, wait, has it happened yet? Has it happened? Okay, no, there's a magic bong or whatever. Oh, yeah, look there. But, of course, we don't see it yet. All right. So Reed is working on Iron Man's arm, to jazz it up. And Rhodey says, "Were you surprised to see a black arm under the armor?" Kind of implying that Reed is a racist or wondering if he's a racist. And Reed says, "No, the only thing I was wondering was whether it was going to be a lighter skinned arm like Terrence Howard or a darker skinned arm like Don Cheadle. But why would I care if you're black or white? What kind of, are you a racist, Iron Man? Is that how you think of everything?" But anyway, all right. And now, boys and girls, here we go. What?
Here it is.
Here it comes.
Boom.
Spider-Man sees Thor and Hulk walking out of a room. "Thor, your cape's all repaired. How did you do that?" And Hulk says, "Hey, go right into that room there, and the machine will whip up one for you."
Thanks a lot.
All right. So Spider-Man walks in. Okay. He has no idea what he's looking at. He has no idea what works. He says, "Hey, Hulk, which one is it?" And instead of running back out the room and asking the Hulk, which one was it, scientific genius that he is, goes to the first machine that he sees, that's got a little dome on it, and said, "Oh, this looks like it's just begging to make me a costume." And so, Deus ex machina means God in the machine. Well, this is poop ex machina, meaning turd in the machine. All right. So Spider-Man gets his head under the glass dome. Oh, that sounds like a Stephen King novel. But anyway, concentrates, and a perfectly round little black turd falls from the machine. Of course, it soon envelops Spider-Man and becomes a famous black costume. Why not the original? Well, that's what I was thinking of, said Spider-Man. Oh, maybe I was subconsciously thinking of Spider-Woman's costume.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Now, here's a question I have.
Okay.
In all the years of Venom's origin that has been retconned and rewrote, originally I thought the alien symbiote was because it was exiled from its planet, and this was a prison for it or something like that. But, so what's the newest? Why is the alien symbiote there, and why did it fall out of the crapper?
You're going to have to go to Tyler on that, and also chat, because I don't remember.
I think the Kleintar's version of the Phantom Zone was locking you inside a Mr. Coffee.
And that probably makes as much sense as anything else.
The Kleintar's version of the Phantom Zone is locking you in a mister.
Anyway, what feels like an earthquake ripples through the Doom base. All right, which is now the hero base, because the heroes have come and taken over the Doom base, so it's now the hero base. All right, well, Professor X invades everybody's minds again without their permission and informs them that Galactus has begun to devour the planet after only standing around for issues 2, 3, 4, lifting up his arms in 5, getting his little tools out and starting to work in 6 and 7. And now the end of issue 8, Galactus is finally to eat the planet.
I don't think Galactus has any little tools.
Well, he was working on the chassis there. you know. So
Issue
Well,
9.
Yeah,
Here
but
we
even
go.
if it's a tool that Galactus uses, it's huge.
oh, I see. So it's a relative thing. I see. All right.
Let's charge up the mountain to get Galactus.
All right.
We're coming around the mountain. There she comes.
Wait a minute. We are at. Wait a minute. This was the end of the second show, wasn't it? Didn't we
Oh,
get done
crap.
with issue 8?
Never mind. We got to do this next month.
Yeah. Wait till next month, boys and girls.
Let's see. Brad, issue 9 has to wait until the next episode. Galactus, nom nom nom. Yes, Deadpool was wearing the black suit in Deadpool's Secret Wars, which I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun if you like Secret Wars and you like
Oh, did you see the new Deadpool trailer?
LGF, the LFG, whatever it is. I love it. I think it's great. I think
The
it's
F-bomb
great.
trailer.
I
Wow.
know.
Wow.
Anyway, join us next month as we wrap up Secret Wars. See y'all in just 30 days.